Okay.
Just takes a second.
We have to use this because somebody broke the CD. The song about a string of bad luck is actually a good lead-in to our community moment today, which is, well, I'll just get into it. Here's a little blurb I read in Mental Floss magazine. Have you heard of Mental Floss? Great magazine, I highly recommend it. Okay. It's really good for, rational, secular free thinker types.
Is it online?
I don't know. It is. Is it?
It
is. Okay. Don't ask me about anything online. Yeah. But no, I think it is. Yeah, and you can get it on your iPad too. Yeah.
Isn't it for children?
We're already off track. Okay, let me start. This is a little blurb from Mental Floss. 7 is a lucky number for some, but Roy Sullivan would disagree. He's been struck by lightning 7 times. A Virginia park ranger, he had such bad luck that on one occasion, a bolt struck him inside a ranger station, setting his hair on fire. After that, he carried a can of water wherever he went. But Sullivan's 7th strike was possibly the strangest. Sullivan was trout fishing, and after lightning lit him up, a bear stole the fish hooked on his line. When Sullivan recovered, he hit the bear with a stick and got into his car and drove off in a daze. But he was grateful that the bear didn't turn him into a snack too. So, struck by lightning 7 times. Some people have all the luck, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit today. Just a few random thoughts on the concept of luck, fortune, fate, and stuff like that, based on a couple articles I read this week. One in Mental Floss, one in the New York Times. And of course, strictly speaking, there is no such thing as luck, right? I mean, well, it depends on how you define luck, I guess. But we humans have a hard time dealing with that sometimes, because for a variety of evolutionary reasons, we find it hard to accept that natural events could just happen by chance. We want to feel like there's at least some control in the universe, some predictability, some purpose to it all. The title of Pastor Rick Warren's book, I'm sure, played a role in its huge best-selling success. The purpose-driven life. People crave purpose, and it sold a lot of books. And we look for purpose and reason and everywhere, even where it doesn't exist. I think about all the ways in which humans have anthropomorphized, that is, casting our human inclinations and emotions on other stuff, how we've anthropomorphized nature through the centuries. We look up to the stars and we saw constellations that told stories, like Orion the Hunter or Ursa Major, and all those other kinds. And then different cultures saw different stories in the stars. Ancient cultures created gods of fire, like the Roman god Vulcan, gods of volcanoes, gods of about every natural force there is. And looking for purpose in nature is not only a feature of primitive, pre-scientific humans. We see it all over the place today. Somebody please tell me why there is still the daily horoscope in the morning newspaper still.
It's probably cheap to put in.
Yeah, well, it is cheap, but well, people read it. People will still say, are you oh, he's acting like a Leo, or she's acting like a Gemini. And apparently President Reagan once even changed the date of an important summit meeting with the Soviets on the advice of Nancy's astrologer. Remember the old TV commercial that was advertising a margarine that tasted just as good as butter? And the tagline was, "It's not nice to fool Mother Nature," right? And so we speak about Mother Nature. We speak about Father Time. And we can't be satisfied to call it something like Pacific Weather Pattern number 7. We have to call it El Nino. Sounds like a Mexican wrestler to me, you know. And now you have La Nina. And you see, we have to personalize things, right? And we do the same thing with hurricanes. When the hurricane, as long as the hurricane is only a tropical depression, we're perfectly happy just giving it a number. But the minute it becomes bad, it gets a name, right? It becomes Ike or, you know, Rita or whatever. I'm not going to mention anymore. I'm going to hurt someone's feelings if I mention hurricane names. But you see, we have to personalize it. So then it's not just this. I mean, I wonder how our concept of nature would change if we just kept the numbers on it, you know? But we turn it into this personality. Remember, well, anyway, I digress. Wait, I'm going to mention this one because we had someone from New Hampshire here, a couple of people from New Hampshire. But remember the old man in the rock? That was the iconic, you know, it was the symbol of this rock formation that looked like the profile of an old man that, you know, was kind of the symbol of New Hampshire and was on the back of the New Hampshire Quarter. And then a few years ago, the thing just crumbled and, you know, fell, you know, due to erosion and everything else. And people actually went in mourning and laid bouquets of flowers at the base. It's a rock! Did they ever redo the New Hampshire Quarter? Yeah, I don't know. That's still, okay. Remember that, so nature, there is no meaning in nature. Nature isn't our friend, nature isn't our enemy, nature just is. When bad things happen, the gods aren't out to get you. When good stuff happens, the stars aren't aligned in your favor. Remember that book that came out a few years ago, The Secret? Another huge runaway bestseller, probably second only to Purpose Driven Life. And it said that the universe was favorably disposed towards you, and all you had to do was use the power of positive thinking and visioning to open your heart to attract all these good things into your life that the universe was just waiting to pour into your lap. And people ate that book up. Okay, well, that doesn't actually work. In fact, some psychologists who have done research on this have found out that people who take the positive thinking approach often end up doing worse. They spend time fantasizing about getting a better paying job instead of putting real effort into the project. Or they spend time fantasizing about finding a great romantic partner rather than actually going around and asking someone out on a date. Speaking of which, does anybody else find the very existence of ChristianMingle.com a strange thing? I mean, being an all-powerful deity and everything, why would God need to use the internet to match people up?
He works in mysterious ways.
He works in mysterious ways. You're a bad boy for saying that. I mean, couldn't he just arrange it somehow? But, you know, I don't know, it just seems to me that it's kind of a tacit admission that he's not up to the job. So just to recap, life is a crapshoot. It is. But we humans are predisposed to craving predictability, control, and purpose where none exists. The universe does not care about us. But that doesn't mean you can't get lucky in life or actually do things to increase your luck or whatever it is we want to call it. Researchers who have studied self-described lucky people found out that they have some characteristics in common. People who consider themselves lucky tend to be more open to receptive to new experiences. They tend to embrace uncertainty rather than fearing it. They spend time expanding their social and professional networks. Basically, rather than sitting around and waiting for good things to happen, they put themselves out there to experience more of life so that they are in a position to capitalize on random events. You know, so, well, anyway, there's a writer named Carla Starr. I'm not real familiar with her, but she has coined this term, structured serendipity. And it's a term I like a lot. I like that term because I think it's a concept secularists could embrace. It's an antidote to the positive wishful thinking model that is so prevalent out there. Structured serendipity. And in the structured serendipity model, you allow for spontaneity in life. Let me quote Carla Starr here. She writes, "Don't abandon your daily schedule, but make sure it includes chances for unexpected things. Spend an hour wandering at a bookstore. Invite a random acquaintance for coffee. Leave extra time for errands to permit spontaneous detours en route. So have a routine, but allow flexibility." I mean, really, that's what Starbucks is all about. It's not about the coffee, which is just okay. When you go to Starbucks, you're renting a space where stuff can potentially happen, where you could meet people you haven't met yet, you could have conversations you might not normally have. It's kind of structured serendipity. You know, and it is a crapshoot. Something, a lot of times you're gonna go and nothing's gonna happen. But I was there yesterday, and the guy sat down, who I know, and he was asking, he'd apparently been following what we're doing. And when we left, he said, "I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna be there." He's not here, so but you never know. So, and I'm going to close with one more luck story. This was a good one. Jeannie Pixie Rogers must have stepped under too many ladders when she was little. At age 18, she fell off a cruise ship and down an open manhole. As reported in the Bangor Daily News, the main consignment shop owner has been strangled, mugged, and struck by lightning twice. Years later, a bat got caught in her hair and she had to drive to the vet to have it removed. Finally, she once pantsed Mr. Rogers, no relation. It seems that while hoisting herself out of a public swimming pool, Pixie Rogers inadvertently yanked on the beloved TV personality's swim trunks, giving everybody a grand view of Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Anything is possible. Be open to the possibilities. And I think the lesson for the day is if you want to improve your luck, you can through structured serendipity. Don't play the lottery. Get out of the house more. And thank your lucky stars you found Houston Oasis. Thank you.